up, World Warrior Team? Back at it again. Welcome to the episode. Thank you guys watching me for the first time. Hope you like the video. If you like it, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. Go back and check out my other videos. Maybe you find something you like. Thank you to those who've been with me since the beginning. I truly appreciate you guys for sticking around, liking and commenting, and all that good stuff. Continue to do so. Today's episode is going to be talking about villains who win at the end of a movie. So there's the typical movies that everybody talk about where the villain wins, like the usual suspects and movies like that. I'm not going to name those movies. These are actually movies that I watched and I like, where the villain wins at the end. And I don't really feel bad about them winning, actually, after watching the movie. Seven, one of my favorite all-time movies. Unbelievable movie. Great storytelling. Great premise. Just watching the movie, it's a real good story. And the acting is fantastic. So who's in this movie, you ask? We got superstar Brad Pitt playing David Mills. We got Morgan Freeman as William Somerset, who's a veteran cop who's about to retire. This is his last case. You got Gwyneth Paltrow as Brad Pitt's wife. I think they were married at the time too when they did this movie. And then you got the great Kevin Spacey as the serial killer John Doe, who is canceled now, but he's still a great actor. And I still watch some of his movies from time to time. You can cancel him, but you can't cancel the good work he did. But anyway, so this movie is a fantastic movie. It's a movie based on the 7 deadly sins. The 7 deadly sins are pride, greed, wrath, envy, lust, gluttony, and sloth. And in this movie, the killer John Doe, played by Kevin Spacey, is killing people based on these sins because I think he thinks he's a messenger of God or whatever, and he wants to get himself known. So in this movie, Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman as detectives, they're always one step behind him while after he's committing these murders. So gluttony, he kills a guy, a real fat guy. He force feeds him until his stomach bursts. This thing is really gross too. The next one was greed, who is a criminal attorney who's forced to cut off his own flesh. Next one you got sloth, a drug dealer and a child abuser. Next is lust, a sex worker who was impaled with a bladed sex toy. Next we got pride, a model who John Doe disfigures. The last two are at the end of the movie. So throughout the movie, like I said, they're one step behind in trying to catch him. There's actually a scene where they're right there. They almost had him, and he gets away. They could have ended it right there, but he gets away. So throughout the movie, they're discovering after each death he writes which sin it is on the wall or whatever. They figure out it's the 7 deadly sins. They figure out who he is. So they ended up capturing him, but he wants to get captured because this is all part of his master plan at the end of the movie. So he wants to get captured. They capture him, and they go to a field, and there's a package being delivered. So the package is being delivered, and it's him and it's Brad Pitt and John Doe talking, and John Doe says he envies him. He envies his life with his wife, the life that they have, and so envy is him. That's number 6, the 6th sin or whatever that he's going to use. Number 7 is wrath. So the wrath is there's a scene, famous scene. What's in the box? There's a box delivered to them at this field, and in the box is Gwyneth Paltrow's head. So John Doe kills Gwyneth Paltrow, and she's pregnant, but Brad Pitt doesn't know that she's pregnant. So he finds out that his wife was pregnant, and he killed his wife, and his wife's head is in the box. So wrath is I guess John Doe knew he was going to die, knew he had to die at the end. So wrath is Brad Pitt's character killing John Doe, and Morgan Freeman figures it out, but he's so far away that he doesn't hear him to tell him not to do it. He figures out that he wants him to kill him, and he's going to ruin his whole career. So Brad Pitt ends up killing him. Of course he kills him because it's his wife. He killed his wife and unborn child that he didn't even know about. He didn't even know his wife was pregnant, but Morgan Freeman knew his wife was pregnant, but he didn't tell him. I guess they were trying to surprise him. So Brad Pitt kills John Doe, and that's pretty much the end of the movie. They take Brad Pitt off in cuffs. So the villain actually wins in this movie because his whole plan comes to fruition. He does all seven deadly sins, and he's known throughout the world or whatever as the seven deadly sins killer or whatever. So I thought it was a fantastic movie. It's definitely a rewatchable movie that you can watch over and over again. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend you watching it. It came out in 1995, so it's a pretty old movie, about what's that, 20 years old. So definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. I love this movie, and it still holds up today. The acting is fantastic. So the next movie is going to be a great movie. Came out in 1998. It's called Fallen. The villain wins at the end of this movie. Spoiler alert, even though this movie's been out for like 20 something years. So the premise of this movie is the devil possesses people, and the devil's real or whatever. Demons are real, and this guy possesses people and kills people. And Denzel Washington is a detective who thought he solved the murder, but he didn't know that the demon was real or whatever. He didn't know that it was a demon that was possessing these people to kill these people. So the movie starts at the end, which is quite different for this time. I don't remember a lot of movies starting from the end of the movie. So at the beginning of the movie, it's a voiceover. It's Denzel Washington saying, "I'm going to tell you about the time I almost died." And there's a bunch of other shit that he says after that, but that's the main point of the whole monologue. He's going to tell you the story is about the time he almost died. He said he's not going to start from the beginning because that's a long story. So he's going to start from the middle, I guess you could say.
I want to tell you about the time I almost died. I never thought it would happen to me. Not at this age. Beaten. Outsmarted. How did I get into this fix? How did it all begin? No. If I go back to the beginning, that'll take forever. So let's start more recently. Somewhere. Anyway.
So, like I said, the story is about this demon who possessed people, and he can switch bodies to become different peoples at pretty much any time. So the beginning of the movie, they show this guy who's on death row, and he's going for his last hurrah or whatever. He's walking to the gas chamber. He's about to get gas for I guess he was a mass murderer, so they thought. So they caught him, and Denzel Washington's in there with his people, and they're watching him die. And the guy doesn't even seem like he's upset that he's dying. So he dies. He sings the song, and everybody's just watching him as he dies or whatever.
Yes, it is. Time is on my side.
And then they show like a being like hovering over everything. So this being leaves, and then they cut to Denzel Washington going to celebrate the capture or whatever with all the police people or whatever. So some time passes, and they see murders happening again in the same way that this guy had been killing people, the guy that was on death row. And I was like, this is weird that they think it's a copycat murder.
Reese had an accomplice?
Unless it's a copycat, maybe the prison guards or the people that made the documentary.
So fast forward, he's going through the movie and he meets this lady. She tells him that demons are real. And this demon, his name is Azazel. And this demon can transfer to other bodies and be their host. And he kills people as he's in those bodies.
I believe more is hidden than is seen. We're not supposed to know. We're not supposed to know. We're not supposed to see. It's like the mafia. They don't even exist. There are certain phenomena which can only be explained if there is a God. And if there are angels, and there are, they exist. Some of these angels were cast down, and a few of the fallen were punished by being deprived of form. They can only survive in the bodies of others. It's inside of us, inside of human beings. Their vengeance is played out.
So fast forward, Denzel finds out the whole thing is real. The demon is real, so his mission is to find this demon, but it's hard to find him because the guy can switch bodies whenever he wants to. So eventually, the demon kills his brother and frames Denzel for all the murders. So Denzel becomes a suspect for all the murders, even the murders for that the guy originally that they put the death chamber was accused of.
Shooting team will need your gun. I'll get the hearing as soon as I can. People want the world to make sense. The only way I can get the world to make sense for me is to arrest you. Then I'll have to do it.
So Denzel has to figure out a way to get rid of this demon. He finds out that the demon can only survive outside the body for one breath. So it doesn't have that long to find a host once it leaves the body. So he has to figure out the way to kill the demon and make sure he doesn't get back into the body. So Denzel goes to a cabin in the woods. So they go to the cabin in the wood. He calls his cop friends. They trace his call. They come out here. It's two of his cops. One of the cops is possessed by the Azazel dude because I guess he wants to see the end of Denzel. So the Azazel dude kills the other cop, and so it's only Denzel and the Azazel dude left. Him and the demon left.
One more.
Sometimes it's a big one.
Azazel.
Hey, I'm your partner, man.
They fight, and the other cop is fatally wounded. So the Azazel, the only other person to jump into was Denzel. So he jumps into Denzel. Little did he know that Denzel was smoking cigarettes laced with poison. I guess this is the same poison that he used to kill his brother.
What's this? You don't smoke anymore.
That's right, I don't. Why? Because cigarettes kill, especially cigarettes laced with poison.
Bullshit.
Same poison that you used to kill my brother.
So he tells the demon that he's gonna die. There's nobody around, so he can't jump bodies. Denzel Washington, like I said, the demon takes over his body. They run through the woods. The demon's trying to look for a body to find, and there's no bodies around. Like I said, there's no people around for miles, and both of the people that came were both dead. So he's stuck in Denzel's body. Denzel dies. He jumps out of the body, and you can hear the demon like trying to frantically find a body to get inside of.
Can you imagine what it feels like to be alive for thousands of years and realize you're actually going to die because some self-righteous cop decided he was going to save the fucking world?
So, in the end, you think he dies, but then they fast forward and you see a fox. The audience didn't know that he could possess animals, so he doesn't have to just get into a person. He can possess animals. So Azazel, the demon, gets inside a fox and he lives. So at the end of the movie, he goes, "I told you about the time that I almost died." He didn't die. He jumps into the fox and he lives. So in the end of the movie, Azazel doesn't die.
Oh, you forgot something, didn't you? At the beginning, I said I was going to tell you about the time I almost died. See you around.
That's the expedited version of the story. It's a real good movie. It's actually the whole movie is actually on YouTube if you guys want to watch it. I definitely suggest it. It's a great movie. Denzel does fantastic. The cast is amazing. The acting is great, and the whole story is pretty good because you actually think that the demon finally got killed and he finds a way to get out because there's animals in the woods. Definitely check it out. It's a great movie. I totally recommend it. And the bad guy wins. And this is one of the movies that I actually felt bad that the bad guy wins because I actually wanted him to die because he killed so many people, and now he's going to continue to kill people. There was never a part two or nothing. I don't think they was trying to set up a part two. I just think they wanted to show that evil never dies, or I guess you could say. Even when you think it's dead, it doesn't. So Denzel pretty much died at the end of the movie for no reason because the demon survived. All right, the next movie I'm going to do is Brightburn. Brightburn came out in 2019, starring Jackson A. Dunn, Elizabeth Banks, and David Denman. This movie is a take on the Superman story. But what if Superman was a bad guy? What if he was brought up came to Earth, and he was never going to be good. He was always going to be evil. So in 2006, a spaceship crashes in the forest of Brightburn, Kansas. A couple, Toria and Kyle Breyer, who's unable to have kids, see the explosion from their house, and they go to a crash site. First of all, this would never happen. There's no fucking way you see a fucking something crash, you're gonna run to it. Maybe some people would, but I know I wouldn't. Once they get there, it sees a spaceship. So that would make me turn around anyway. I'd be calling fucking NASA or somebody to check this out. But they go to the spaceship. They find a baby inside, which is weird, and they adopt the baby and name him Brandon. They've been wanting to have kids, so I can see why they wouldn't turn the kid in. But it was in a spaceship, so that's just that's just weird that you would adopt a baby in a spaceship. Don't know where the spaceship came from, but anyway, that's the story. It's pretty much the same thing that happened in Superman. So they end up hiding the spaceship in their barn. So time passes, and Brandon's turned 12 years old. He has exceptional strength and the ability to fly. But his attitude actually changes too. He becomes not a happy kid anymore. He's more drawn back, more mean, more to himself, very awkward. So in middle school, Brandon is super smart. He's like one of the smartest people in the school, but he's socially awkward and he's always bullied. So he has a classmate named Caitlin who has sympathy for him, and he develops a crush on him because he's nice to her. A kid like that, somebody being nice to her, of course you're gonna have a crush on him.
Don't worry, smart guys end up ruling the planet.
But he's weird, so one night he stalks Caitlin in her room because he can fly. He goes to her fucking room and he's all fucking creepy and shit, and he scares the shit out of her. It's the middle of the night and he's fucking flying up to her window and he looks in or whatever, so that shit just scared her.
Don't scream.
What are you doing here?
I brought you flowers.
So a couple days pass and they're in physical edge where they have a trust exercise. So in this trust exercise, you got to fall back and then the person catches you. I would never do this because I don't trust people like that. So he does the trust exercise. He likes her, so he assumes she's going to catch him. So he does it and he falls to the ground. She didn't even try to catch him and she calls him a pervert.
Classmates have your back. Good job. Oh, shit.
He gets super mad and he breaks her hand.
What are you doing?
Brandon.
Let go! Stop it!
Brandon, stop!
He's suspended from school and her mom goes after him, call him all kinds of freaks and all this other bullshit. So he gets mad about that, of course. So that night, Brandon sleepwalks to the spaceship, and he breaks into the barn where he cuts his hand on the ship. The mom follows him, seeing him levitating and chanting the ship's message, "Take the world," which is fucking weird that a kid be chanting that, and he's floating over the spaceship. So she reveals his true origin. He's super upset that he never knew that he was an alien, he was adopted or whatever. So he destroys the family photos before later killing the girl that he likes' mom, which is kind of fucked up. So he paints these symbols, I guess, and he paints these symbols where he killed his mom, and the same symbols he draws in his notebooks. I guess that's his home world symbol. They don't really explain it in the movie. So the next day, he fucking creates this costume, and he sneaks to his aunt and uncle's house. His uncle Noah threatens to tell his father that he snuck him over there, and so he drives, and Brandon flips his truck over and kills Brandon, he kills his uncle. So the following morning, his mother and father tell Brandon of the death, and he's not even upset or nothing. Uh, the police believe in an accident, but like I said, he shows no emotion. So the father thinks he killed his brother. So he goes searching through his stuff and he finds a bloodstained T-shirt and shows it to the wife, but she refuses to believe that he's a bad kid for some reason, even though he showed all the fucking signs that he's one of the worst kids ever. So the father has a plan. He wants to kill his fucking kid, so he takes him on a hunting trip in the woods, and he attempts to shoot him with a hunting rifle, but the bullet bounces off of him to the back of bounces off of Brandon's head, and then noticing that Brandon kills him with the heat vision. So he kills the father.
Please. Brandon, don't. I'm sorry.
The sheriff arrives to the house, tell him about the symbol that he found at the little girl's mother's death. The mom finds a notebook with the drawings of the murders and the message "Take the world," which he saw him saying in the barn. So she calls the husband. He doesn't answer. The little boy answers the phone, and he implies that he's coming for her next because he already killed the father. So he returns to the house, destroys the house. Tori calls the police, but Brandon kills the sheriff and the deputy before the backup can arrive. Then she remembers that the hull can hurt him. The ship can hurt him, so she takes a piece of the ship. And while going in the barn, she discovers the body of Erica, the little girl's mother. So as he pursues her, she tries to stab him with a piece of the ship. But he grabs her, flies to the sky, and he drops her to her death, which is fucking crazy. So he drops her to the death, watches her fall.
Oh, Brandon!
He looks up to see an oncoming plane. The plane crashes into the barn, destroying every bit of evidence, so there's no evidence that he killed none of the people.
Investigators are not yet sure what caused the plane to drop suddenly from the sky and crash into this small family farm. Among the reported dead are the residents of the farmhouse, Kyle and Tori Breyer. They are survived by their 12-year-old son, Brandon.
His symbol is seen on the piece of the plane wreckage as the rescuers attend to him because they think he's hurt or whatever. So later, there's news reports over locations where various disasters are online, and people are saying that superpowered people are out there, and we have to do something to take action before it's too late.
They are all out there. They are all waiting, and they're all gonna eat a fucking breakfast unless we get our shit together and do something.
So then in the movie, you see these superpowered people on the TV, and you see that he's flying around with his costume on, looking scary as fuck, and he's pretty much unstoppable because the ship that could kill him is already destroyed.
Me as usual, trying to sell you all a load of bullshit.
Get mad. I guess I'm pretty glad that.
So there was supposed to be a part 2. The director said he wanted to make part 2 using the same boy or whatever. The boy said he would reprise his role, but it's been 6 years now, and I guess they don't have the rights to the movie. So more than likely, there's not going to be a part 2. The part 2 would have been awesome because there's like a witch, there's like a person that has powers over the water like Aquaman.
Just like that half-man, half-sea creature capsizing fishing vessels in the South China Sea. Like what we were talking about last week, some kind of witch woman who choked people out with ropes and cords.
They could have been like the Justice League, but bad guys. I would have loved to see that story and how regular people would have took those people on. Because there's no way they could stop him. he doesn't have any kryptonite anymore because the ship is blown up. But I thought this was a great take on the Superman story, where the bad guy actually wins. He gets away with murder. He's pretty much a serial killer now. But it's a great movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought the story was well put together. The acting was real good. And Elizabeth Banks as a serious actor was pretty good too. Usually she does comedy, but she was good in this role. The movie was real good. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. And the bad guy wins. Spoiler alert. That's going to do it for the video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Click on anybody else's channel and you decided to watch mine. Thanks for giving me 15 minutes of your time. Truly appreciate you guys. Hope you liked the video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Continue to do so. Help me make this channel grow. Let me know any movies that you guys like where the villain actually wins. There's quite a few movies out there. Quite a few that I didn't use. These movies include Identity, which is a fantastic movie starring John Cusack, Ray Liotta, Amanda Peet. Unthinkable, starring Samuel Jackson, Michael Sheen, Carrie-Anne Moss. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, underrated movie. Claire Danes and Nick Stahl. Those are just some of the movies that I thought had great endings where the villain actually won the movie. The moment, of course, the devil wins and gets away with it all. But let me know if you some of those movies that you think are good where the villain ends. What do you think about the movies I chose? Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, share. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one, and I'll get at y'all on the next one later.